Hello, it is Jack Gill, and welcome back to Redmen Academy. I'm joined by James McKell again. James, we're going to be talking about Kylian Mbappe today. Obviously, he's a player that we spoke about a lot on the main Redmen channel throughout the year. He's a player that we've been strongly linked with at times, but it's always looked like a bit of a pipeline dream. He's a man that would probably have to take a big pay cut to join Liverpool, and obviously with everything going on at the minute, is whether we could afford him anyway now. But it always looked like a pipeline dream, didn't it? What do you make of the whole Mbappe stuff that's been going on throughout this year?
I mean, it's the dream transfer. I think for many Liverpool fans, this is the one transfer that, if you could say you can have any player in the world, a lot of Liverpool fans, I think, myself included, would pick Kylian Mbappe purely because he's such a good player now and his ceiling is, absolutely limitless. He's such a good player. He'll improve any team in the world. He'll walk into any team in the world right now. And, as I said, he's only going to get better. Whether or not that means we have to move someone on, and whether that will mean, we're going to have to trade one of our current stars to have him in the team and how we're going to finance it and all that. I'm not too sure how that'll work. I'm sure that'll maybe be explored by the club later on once any interest sort of confirmed, if anything, if at all. But it's something that does excite me, and I would look forward to, having someone of his caliber come into the team because it'll raise spirits so much in this fan base.
That's the thing for me. I think obviously we have a world class team at the minute, and if you look where to improve this squad, it would be getting a better squad rather than a starting lineup. It'd be incredibly difficult to improve our starting 11 at the moment. But Kylian Mbappe is a player that absolutely would. He's an outstanding talent, and as you say, he's only going to get better as well. He's still so young too. So of course, it's so very exciting, and when you get linked with a name like that, obviously everyone's going to get excited, and he's teased it himself at times. We know he's a massive fan of Jurgen Klopp. We know Jurgen Klopp's a massive fan of him, and he plays with us on FIFA, so it's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the Mbappe 2020 stuff, it always looks like as that thing I've used several times already in this video, and that's the it looks like a pipeline dream, and it's one of them where would we spend that much money? Probably not. I'd go as far as saying absolutely not. And the wages that he'd be demanding, even if he takes a big pay cut, would be absolutely massive, James, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think any transfer would only go ahead if he was to push for it personally, because that will drive the price down, or at least lower any, astronomical asking fee. Really, I can't see us paying 200 million for him. It'd be a lot closer to what PSG paid initially. They did pay huge amounts of money. I think set a world record fee. It would have to be closer to that because we're realistically as a club not going to spend hundreds of millions on someone.
Well, that whole transfer was a bit suspect anyway, wasn't it? I
Whole
mean,
thing's fishy.
yeah, getting him and Neymar in the same window and it being an initial loan and then it was a very weird transfer. But I think Kylian Mbappe may leave this summer, but I think if he does, it's Real Madrid. And I think Barcelona are likely to sign Neymar this summer too, and it's whether PSG would be willing to lose both in the same window. So, I do think it would be massive for us to sign Kylian Mbappe. Of course it would, and obviously the Nike stuff didn't help the Mbappe 2020 rumours because obviously you've got that flying around, and then with us signing a new deal with Nike and apparently them wanting us to sign some marquee players. Then Kylian Mbappe, obviously a Nike player, is going to get talked about even more. But I think it's incredibly difficult to think that Mbappe will ever become a Liverpool player. But who knows? I suppose, James.
I think any transfer, his obviously his wages would be astronomical, as you said. Nearly double what anyone would be on right now. But I think if it does happen, it'll be around the 200 grand a week, plus then heavy incentives. His goal scoring record would, if he scored and assisted on a week, it'd near enough probably double his wage. I'd expect that. We see it with our current players already, where they get 40 grand bonuses just for scoring or just for assisting. And I think that would definitely top his wages because his goals would be that important for us.
It's just not a very Liverpool signing, is it? Like
That's
to
complete
sign.
opposite of what we
Yeah.
do.
it's just a bit. It's not very Liverpool, but who knows? Obviously, with Knight coming in,
Yeah.
anything could happen. I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it. And as I say, it does seem like a dream. But you know, it's one that we can dream, and you know, dare to dream that Mbappe will sign for us in 2020. Very unlikely though, James. But you know, with Knight coming in, do you think a transfer, maybe not of Mbappe caliber, but maybe a big money move for Sancho or something like that is possible this summer?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look at a lot of the big teams around the world are sponsored by Nike, so they wouldn't necessarily push for it if it risks upsetting other clients of theirs. You know, with Mbappe, that Nike also sponsor PSG. Would that burn any bridges that they've already got with PSG? No one's really considered that. Okay, they might want him at Liverpool as their new, pet project, but PSG is still a massive brand for them, and they've got a lot of big brands around the world, so they have limited pulling power, and I think it'll more rely on, okay, who can they market who's a good up and coming star that maybe isn't at that level yet, isn't at the biggest team, but who can they turn into, this very bankable asset who they can sell jerseys, they can advertise, who they can, link up with their current stars.
Well, we won't get messed about as well.
Yeah.
We definitely won't let Nike choose who we sign. So
Yeah.
it's never going to be anything like this. And obviously, we already have some players, some world class players. It may be that they instead change and become like athletes themselves. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But it definitely is a good deal for us to be signed by Nike. And one of the record. One of the record sponsorships now in the Premier League and in Europe. So, it's a very good deal from the club. Um, Obviously, James, we spoke before about Timo Werner. He seems more realistic this summer, doesn't he? Even with everything going on, he seems like a player that we will obviously sign in the summer.
Yeah, I think for me, if you look at it, obviously Mbappe's the dream, but if you look at it for a pragmatic signing, I think Werner's the one that would suit us the most, would be able to sort of go into our team without causing any major disruption. Realistically, we'll have a way of playing all of our players along with Werner, whereas, Mbappe, we might have to move people around. He's affordable, he suits our style of play already, and he's got that sort of profile that we're looking for where he's not at the very top yet. He's very close, and we take him to that next level. And there's not a lot of players sort of in that bracket, so it's going to depend on when his release clause obviously expires. It's rumored that it'd end the middle of this month or towards the end, but then other people are reporting that actually it's until June. So it's going to be a matter of how's that going to work? When are we going to be able to actually register him? Obviously we activate the clause. If he can't play for us for 6 months or so, but we're paying wages, how's that going to work? It's so hard to comment on anything that's rumored right now.
That's the thing with everything going on at the minute. You just don't know. Things could change so quickly. Contracts will be changed to suit what's going on at the minute, and obviously loan deals will be extended, whatnot. So I assume contracts will be extended and now be season by season rather than ending on whatever it usually is. But I do think Warner is highly likely. When Bad News Bears comes out and almost confirms it, I think it's going to happen, and I think it'll be an incredible signing for us. I think he really will put us up to that next level. And when the African Cup of Nations is meant to be in the middle of the season next year, it gives us another world class option. And you've seen this season and over the last few seasons, he's definitely stepped up a level now. Nagelsmann's the Leipzig manager, but he's been consistently brilliant for a few seasons. Timo Werner now, and I think it'll be a fantastic signing for us. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are we writing Kylian Mbappe off too early, or do you think it is, like we say, highly unlikely that Kylian Mbappe will ever play for Liverpool? Let us know what you think. Are you on the Mbappe 2020 train, or do you think it's a load of bollocks? Cheers very much for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with another video. Cheers, James. Ta-ra.